you're gonna see the P wave. If you have a premature atrial contraction, means that the atria is contracting before time, earlier. That is it. So we're gonna have like the P wave very close to the QRS because it's not giving time. So this is what we're gonna see on a premature atrial complexes, or PACs. P means premature, A means atrial, C means complex. So that's basically what it is. See? The P wave, the PR interval, the QRS, and we're gonna see what the causes are. What causes this condition? So we've seen all the parts of an EKG. It's just that if it is premature, we're going to see the P a little more closer to the QRS. That is it. The other one will have like the normal space, the normal rate in between. Here we have, it says right there that the P waves is shaped differently from sinus P waves. So it says the shape is a little different. Well, it all depends. If it is too fast, it's going to be narrower, or it's going to be flattened because it's going too fast. So that's basically what it is. Everything else is going to be the same distance. So we're going to use the values. Remember that when we measure the little squares that are 0.04, so the PR interval has to be between 3 little blocks and 5 little blocks. So if we convert 3 little blocks times 0.04, it will be 0.12, and 5 little blocks will be 0.20. So we always gonna go with those numbers to verify that, you know, the PR interval, the QRS interval are gonna be in the normal ranges. If it goes beyond or below, we know already that we're having some type of problems right there. Premature atrial contraction can happen for any reason, nothing abnormal. Because the atria, when the atria have problems, usually are not as complicated as the ventricles. The ventricles are serious. The atria, not so serious. It can be very serious if you have something really bad, right? But this, no, because it just, the kick is done faster. Medications. Pay attention to this. Who doesn't drink coffee? So coffee causes that. Cigarettes, nicotine causes this. It's just because you drink a cup of coffee does not imply that you're sick of the heart. I believe you're the one who likes Red Bull, right?
I don't like it, but I've been drinking it because I need it.
Okay. So Red Bull causes that.
Yes. I drink coffee in the morning and a Red Bull in the afternoon.
Correct.
Killing myself.
So let's say that you go to the doctor. They do an EKG, and they don't find out, they don't ask you anything about what you drink, what you've been eating, or something like that, or what medications you're taking. So then they're gonna miss out on a lot of stuff. They're gonna put you to do all these procedures or giving you medications for something that you don't need it. Yeah. So the first thing that we ask is, okay, are you taking any medications? Which medications are those? Even though if those medications are over the counter or home remedies. See, we have to tell our doctor everything, because any of these things that we're taking are causing us something, but we think that, oh, it's over the counter now because I buy it without a prescription, that means it doesn't have no problems. Oh, because this is a natural thing. Sometimes it's not even natural.
Sometimes it's something.
They have some chemicals with them that can change the whole process of whatever you're taking. So once again, or you taking too much of something. See, taking too much of vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin B12, that's not good. Oh, I need vitamin 12. Who told you that? Oh, I saw the commercial and it says that females,
I went to Google.
because we are always anemic, we have to know. You should not be taking things like, for instance, those multivitamins. Don't take multivitamins unless your doctor ran a test, your blood, and your doctor told you, listen, you need vitamin C, but the doctor is going to tell you how much you need. These multivitamins are standard. They're not going to be like, oh, that's exactly what you need, that's exactly, no. They're going to come in a certain amount that can be too much for you. And that can cause you problems. Can you imagine drinking too much water is bad?
You could die.
And people saying, oh no, but the water is good. Doctors recommend water. Yes, everything is good. It's just that if you take it in certain amounts, it's not going to cause damage to you.
I like coffee, but I realize when I make it strong, I feel like when I make it too strong, I feel
palpitations. Yeah.
So me,
I don't drink it. I don't drink it at all because I'm hyper by nature.
Okay.
If I drink coffee, my God, I'm gonna be like, no.
When I make
I don't
it
like
too
it.
strong, I feel like I'm
And
having
that's why
anxiety
people
attack.
take it when they are tired, when they feel like falling asleep. They want to keep themselves a little, up for a long period of time. That's what it
I'm
is.
a very tired person.
Exactly.
Like, I had a time where I went to the doctor and they did an EKG because I would feel so much pain, like right here. Like, oh my God, it was unexplainable. And it was because I was coughing a lot. So lately, I had like 4 months coughing nonstop, every day, especially when I go to sleep at night. And I started noticing that when I don't smoke hookah all the time. But when I do,
I was going to say, I don't know all the time.
All
when
the
she
time.
mentioned hookah,
But
I
when
don't smoke,
I
but
do,
all the time.
like if I go out, let's say twice a month, I like to smoke my hookah. But I noticed that one time I smoked a hookah, I go by 3 weeks coughing.
Oh my God.
I'm not smoking hookah anymore.
Oh, thank you.
I can't.
See, that right there is telling you that you should know what your body accepts or rejects. And you have to do those changes because your health is more important than anything else. For me, it is.
And they did the EKG and everything came back normal.
No, because it has nothing to do with that. You were having chest pains because of,
The coffee.
the muscle strain,
Yes, that's
the
what it is.
soreness that you have. See, before I do an EKG, I just ask you two questions. When you cough, do you feel pain right here? Cough right now, where it hurts. Here, we make you cough. Okay, I put my hands over there and I said, I'm gonna press. Do you feel the pain? You're gonna feel it because your muscles are sore behind. If you have heart conditions, it doesn't matter how much I press your chest, you're not gonna feel no pain. Sometimes acid reflux is the same thing. You have this burning sensation right here that you think that is your heart. And these things, that's why we as a medical providers, we have to investigate, ask the pertaining questions. You know how hard it is or how annoying it is to go to the emergency thinking that you have something serious when it's not? And the time that you want to wait, no, and the time that you have to be waiting over there, that you get sicker, but waiting, because they do something that is called triage. Remember, question for your exam, triage is sorting out the conditions from the more serious, the less serious. When you have a serious condition, you're going to be put first to be seeing the doctor. That's what it's called triage. Now, someone who's not having something serious, the nurse asks you some questions. And those questions means whether you're going to be waiting a long time or you're going to be seen soon. So that's basically what it is. Because it's the level of the condition that you have. So that's basically, see, tobacco, cigarettes, because nicotine does the same as caffeine. The girl that's taking bronchodilators because she has asthma, that also causes that. But if you do not ask the questions, is taking any medication or drinking any of these beverages that are so common, because 99% of the population drinks coffee, and they drink caffeinated coffee. If I ever have coffee, particularly when I'm with my mom, I ask usually for tea, decaffeinated. Everything is decaffeinated. Because I want to drink coffee. Coffee is good. It's delicious. I want to have a bread with coffee.
That's why I ate this pudding for breakfast.
No, it's delicious. Who's going to say no? I rather coffee than anything else. But knowing that I have that issue for a long time, I don't drink it. I don't drink it. So I know what is not good for me. And I have decaffeinated. But sometimes, even though if it is decaf, I'm kind of hesitant because I didn't make it. So I don't know if it's really decaf or not. So I take something else. So that's basically what it is. Hypoxia. When you have anemia or when you are lack of oxygen, you can get that. So anemia can cause you that as well. Well, of course, heart disease, but that's a serious situation. Most of the time, it's not. So you're not gonna die because you have a premature atrial contraction. So usually you don't die from those. They don't ask you that. Remember, right here it is. Remember the what we saw last time about an interruption due to a premature, beat? That's the one. It's right here. From here to here, from here to here, normal. From here to here, normal. But here, this came too close. So that's what we see the difference. It is closer. So for that reason, we see something in there. Now,
so is this a normal?
Look at the P. The P is almost, no.
This is not normal.
No, it's not normal, but it's not something that you're going to die from.
But it's regular. I know, but remember yesterday you were showing us about the distance?
Oh, the ray, yeah. This is considered normal. Because
okay.
It's normal with an interruption that it is a premature atrial contraction.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just one interruption.
One interruption.
Okay.
Right. But medically speaking, you will not die from that.
Okay.
Remember, I'm drinking coffee all the time, and I'm gonna have that. If they do an EKG every single time that I drink a coffee, it's gonna show that. Or if you smoke every single time, so no, it's not gonna kill you. This is gonna kill you. You're smoking too much because it's gonna give you other conditions in your lungs.
And I would do it like rarely, barely. I'm not doing it anymore. I can't.
This is important. This one, atrial flutter, because this is gonna come in your exam, national exam. So reading results when one irritable, okay, that's the same thing. One part of the atrial muscle start sending the electrical impulses, and then in this case, is sending it too much. Okay? So the electrical impulses are too many, and from different places, and a little crazy over there. So that's basically what it is. So what I want to show you is the picture, because the picture is the one that you're going to have in your exam. This one. If you look, it looks like all these are P's, right? Look like a saw, like a shark teeth. You notice? There goes all these little, you know what is a saw, right? The stuff that goes like this, or shark teeth. to cut. It looks like that. Look at that.
Chapter 8.
So check on that. And anytime that you see this image, they're gonna tell you which of the which heart condition is shown on the picture below or the image below. So as soon as you see all these kind of P's in between the QRS, you immediately said that this is the atrial flutter. Mark it. So you put there so you can review your picture, because you're gonna have the image right there. So you're gonna know how that works. Now, is this regular or or irregular?
Regular.
Regular. Most of the atrial situations are going to be regular. Atrial fibrillation. This is a serious situation with the atria. The atria is going crazy. It's shooting everywhere. It's like when these criminals go shoot mass shooting, just indiscriminately shooting whoever they catch. That's how the atria started going crazy. So we're not gonna see anything. We're not gonna see P's, we're not gonna see QRS, we're not gonna see anything. But because this is atrial fibrillation, look how it's gonna look like. Nothing to do with the QRS. Look at this. We don't understand anything. Can I read this? Are those P's? How many P's are there? No. So this is atrial fibrillation. We see all these little waves right here before the QRS, all these waves. There are too many over there. They shouldn't be like that. It should be kind of nice and clear. PQRST. PQRST. When you see extra things, something is going on with this EKG. But this is not asked. Remember the previous one? Usually they call it, oh, it has a saw or a sharty shape. What is it? Just the fact that you see those wording, then you know already that there's atrial flutter. Remember. Supraventricular tachycardia. Now, just because you hear tachycardia, remember, does not imply that is ventricular tachycardia. Ventricular tachycardia that is very serious. That is what causes you to develop a heart attack, a myocardial infarction. So this one, supra. Supra means above the ventricles. It says supraventricular, above the ventricles. And what is above the ventricles? The atria. This is the AB node in there. What it says tachycardia? Because it's very fast, because it goes beyond the 150 beats per minute. That's basically what it is. The other one looks regular, remember? The other one was like, oh yeah, it's like a regular rhythm. This one is going to be really fast. That is supraventricular tachycardia. So we're going to look at the picture. See? They are super fast. Look at that. What is the heart rate for this patient? Instead of counting all these, 300, 150. We use the 2 blocks because it's every 2 blocks. Okay. But sometimes we forget and we can count. And that's exactly what it is, 150. 300, 150.
All right, I didn't know, but I
No, but now you know. Now you remember. Not that you didn't know, you forgot. Now you remember. That can be done that way. It says, oh, that is very, and it's regular. See, every two blocks, there is a B. But what do we see here? What is this?
A P.
So, P, Q, R, S, T. And what is all the P? What is the B?
No, it's not there.
It's not. This is a T. This is a T. This is a T. Because you don't see it because it goes so fast that you don't see the P.
Okay.
Because you try to see right here, you must say, oh, P, Q, R, S, T. And what is the P? There is no P here. Q, R, S. Now, because we start right here, it looks like it is. But as soon as you start kind of going over 2 or 3 of these waves, now you're gonna know that the P is not there. Because it goes so fast that the P is hidden somewhere. So that is supraventricular tachycardia. This usually don't come out on exam site. Okay. So it says right here, the rate is 130 or higher because it's tachycardia. Remember, tachycardia goes beyond 100. But in order for the supraventricular tachycardia, it gotta go beyond. It says right there, usually more than 150, see? So that's basically what it is. What causes this? Oh, P waves. See right here? So as soon as we see kind of one wave in between the Q, Q, R, S, because it's so fast, we immediately have to think about supraventricular tachycardia. That's how you can find it. Now, do not worry, because if you remember that I told you, do not worry about taking the EKG exam by itself. You don't need a certification for EKG. No one is going to hire you just because of the EKG. If you have the chances to take only the medical assistant covers everything else. But if you have the chance to take another test, phlebotomy should be that other one. Because yes, you're gonna be offered jobs to do only phlebotomy. Even though if you tell them I'm a medical assistant, they want you to have phlebotomy, particularly when you're gonna work in a laboratory. And remember, laboratories pay you more than a medical assistant working in a doctor's office.
I need when the class finished, so you can give me that information, because I didn't have it yesterday, on the Saturday.
So that's basically how it goes. Okay, we're gonna start this one. We're gonna finish it. Okay, just gonna tell you a little bit. Rhythms originated in the sinus node. Now, all these rhythms that are originated in the sinus node are the normal rhythms.
See, that's a little confusing, Professor, because right here it says, chapter 9. But when we open it, it says chapter 7.
Mm.
Oh, is it chapter 7 has a lot of different ones?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Each one of these, they're gonna have different presentations, variations of the heart rate, depending on what we're talking. If we're talking about the atria, we're gonna talk about variation of atria arrhythmias. Ventricles, we're gonna have a variation as well. See, this will be originated in the ventricles. Every single time that we talk about something about the heart, we have to think about not the ventricles. Let's eliminate this. Always we have to compare what's normal for what is abnormal. So that's basically what we need to do. So rhythms originated in the sinus node. So these are the rhythms that are originated from the main body. So we're gonna see them. So you heard about them, and it's gonna be a lot easier. So these sinuses are originated. The only thing that you need to remember is what I just told you. They are originated in the natural pacemaker, the SA node. That's it. That's what is called sinus. Sinus as atrial sinus.
Sinus is originated. It's originated. It's originated in the what?
On the SA node, sinus node of the natural pacemaker. This is the main battery that produces that initiates the electrical impulses of the heart. So that's what is called sinus. This is SA node rhythms. See? The word on sinus. Again, the sinus node of the natural pacemaker. So this is the main battery that we have in the right side of the heart, particularly on the top of the right atrium. So if we are having issues with this particular main battery, remember that the heart has 3 batteries, right? Which are the 3 batteries?
The heart have the what?
The heart has 3 batteries.
SA node, heavy node.
Okay,
Don't-
SA node. What's the other one? AB node. And
What
the
fiber?
Purkinje fibers.
Purkinje fiber. Purkinje fiber.
These are the 3 batteries.
I think I wrote this down.
You gotta do
I have to have it here.
The 3 batteries of our heart. So we start with the first one, the SA node. And we know that the inherent rate of this is 60 to 100 beats per minute. So if this collapses, dies, which one of these takes over? This one. So when this is
Exactly,
not functioning properly, this is going to take over. And what will be the inherent rate for this?
I think it's 30, 40. So it's 30.
When this no longer can keep up with the work, which one is going to take over? This one. This is the last battery. Remember, it's like anything else. When someone in the family is taking care of the family and this person dies or this person goes away, who else takes over? Whoever has a job, whoever is older enough to be responsible for the family, right? And so on and so forth. This is going to be 20 to 40 beats per minute. So as it's going down, you see, it's going to be decreasing. So the less beats that the heart can make, the less blood that the heart can pump. So as the heart is going down, it's collapsing. It's dying. That's basically what it is. So this is the one that initiates the electrical impulses of the heart. But if this fails, this takes over. But then this is going to get tired, not going to be able to keep up. It's going to collapse getting to this point. This is going to collapse fast because its heart rate is too low to keep up. So this needs to be working fine, so everything else can be working fine. So you have your father, your mother, both of them works. That will be the SA node. Now you guys are the children and your grandparents. You cannot work, they cannot work, they support you. But if something happens, listen, your children can go work, but how much can make them? It's not going to be enough to support the family or your grandparents, so it's not going to be enough. So then it's going to come here. So really bad. This is what I just told you. The inherent rate, 60 to 100 beats per minute. This, remember, you have to know it. Remember, this can go up or down, depends on the conditions of the heart, the activity that you're doing. Just because my heart rate goes higher does not imply that I'm sick. It's that I'm doing more exercise. It's that you are smoking. It's that you are drinking something. So that's basically all the changes that we are going to have. Some changes are going to be bouncing back normally, because remember, when you run and your heart goes beyond normal, it's not that you're sick, it's that you are kind of forcing your heart to work harder than they should. But then you stop and rest, your heart rate is going to go back to normal. But if you have a heart condition, a valve that is not functioning properly, a blood vessel that's not functioning properly, or the heart chambers are not working, that's not going to go back normally. Has to be fixed, has to be repaired. So that's basically what we need to understand right here. Anything else? I don't want you to kind of go crazy trying to understand this, because this is kind of complicated. I want you to understand like the basic part. What is the SA node? What is their function? So they're gonna ask you, okay, what is the, they're not gonna ask you what is the main battery of your heart, but they're gonna ask you, what is the source of your heart that makes your heart function? What initiate the electrical impulses of the heart? Then immediately you said the SA node. So what is the rate of the SA node? 60 to 100 beats per minute. That should be the normal one. They're not gonna ask you about this underneath, but they're gonna ask you the AB node, because the AB node is known as, what is the AB node known as? What is the other name for AB node?
Gatekeeper.
The gatekeeper. And I'm going to be repeating these over and over, because that's what you're going to need when you're doing your exam. But I'm going to start going over every single detail. Get too much. Do you know that when we get too much information, what happens to our brain? Exactly. No, exactly.
You don't know nothing after that. You be like, what?
You have so many things in your brain that you don't even know which one is it. And your brain is very smart. They push everything to the back. They store it. And getting it up and getting it back again, it doesn't work because it's too much information.
When we go over it, we're going to go exactly on what the test is going to ask us.
Seriously?
I'm just saying. You can ask it.
We'll see.
Make it short.
Yeah, right?
Alright.
Criteria to know that we have a sinus rhythm. Remember, if the main battery is the one that initiating the electrical impulses of the heart, in order for us to know that this is a sinus rhythm, not an atrial rhythm, not a ventricular rhythm, not a block, none of those, has to be sinus rhythm, is because we're gonna see on an EKG, what is this?
P-wave.
P, Q, R, S,
P, Q, R, S, T. If we see this all the time, we see a P wave followed by a QRS, by a T wave, and another T wave, and another QRS. It is sinus. That is what it's telling you over there. Upright matching P waves in lead 1, 2. Who cares about what's in lead 1, 2, 3? Lead 2 because it's the one that we use to read, because it's the rhythm strip, remember. But that's another question for the exam, right? So the rhythm strip is lead number 2. So here it's telling you what do we have to see on an EKG, so we can now consider this a sinus rhythm. We have to see all the components of an EKG. If we see all the components of an EKG, we know already that this is a sinus rhythm. Now, remember that the SA node is the one that contracts the atria. If this is the one that contracts the atria, what is the first thing that we're going to see on an EKG? The P wave. So if we see the P wave, we know that this is a sinus rhythm, because this is the first battery that is going to contract the atria, and we have to see that on an EKG represented by the P wave. So if you see it said, which of the following strips is considered a sinus rhythm? And then you're gonna see that has all the components, the P, Q, R, S, T. If they don't have the P, that's not a sinus rhythm, period. That's a problem. Remember, we saw the premature atrial contraction, the supraventricular contraction. The P wave was not there. So how can we call it sinus? Sinus is if the SA node, S stands for sinus node. So if we see the P wave, the QRS, and the T, doesn't matter if it is too fast, too slow, it doesn't matter. But we see all the components, it is called a sinus rhythm. Is that clear? Because if we understand that little part, once again, I want to make it simple, not complicated. Because you can remember little things versus the whole page. Well, you have plenty of time. You have a book, right? That has like 1,000 pages. Who wants to read all that? And if you read it, are you going to understand it? No. Just simple. Simple. You see the P wave, the QRS, and the T. Immediately you said, this is a sinus rhythm. You don't see a P. Oh, this is an atrial rhythm. Because you don't see the P. Plus something else that we're going to see before. Sinus rhythm is the normal rhythm. See? Sinus rhythm is the normal rhythm. Why? Because the SA node is the one that is initiating the electrical impulses. And if that first battery is initiating the electrical impulses, it's considered normal. If the SA node is not the one that is initiating, then we have a problem. Then any of those, because remember, this is the normal thing, 60 to 100. And if this is not kind of sending electrical impulses to the atria, then this has to do it. But this is not the normal one. This will be in an abnormal situation. Normal sinus rhythm. Now, if you understand this part, you're gonna get the rest as well. So I said right here, rate We know already
60 to 100.
that the normal rate of the sinus rhythm is 60 to 100 beats per minute. It's the only one. The sinus rhythm is the only one that can have all these perfectly like this. The other ones are not following the same part. It is going to be regular. The P waves are going to be positive. That's what it means, upright. They are equal in every single beat next to QRS. So you're going to see a P wave before a QRS, and they're going to be identical. This P is going to be identical to this next P, to this next P, and so on and so forth. And before every single, after every single this, you're going to find a QRS, and after that, you're going to find a D. So that's how you know that is the normal one. PR interval has to be between 0.12, 0.20 seconds. That will be considered normal, constant in all the leads. The QRS has to be less than 0.12. That's between 0.0006 seconds and 0.12. Normal. No problem. You are functioning normally. Nothing else. Do you have any adverse effect? No. Do you need treatment? No. Because that's how it's supposed to be. Normal. You meet all the normal things. Here it is. This is a sinus rhythm. So don't worry that these little things are upside down. Just know that we have P's, we have Q, P, Q, R, S, T. P, Q, R, S, T. Because we are not talking about at this moment that it is, the heart of the patient is normal, literally. This is just that it's a sinus rhythm. Doesn't say over there that it's a normal sinus rhythm. It says it's a sinus rhythm. So we're looking for P, Q, R, S, T, P, Q, R, S, T, and all of them have P, Q, R, S, T. That's a sinus rhythm. What is the heart rate for this patient? When you see something like this, it's incomplete. You don't count this.
So 80.
Oh.
You have to see the whole thing, the whole QRS, then you will have. And the P, because the T, you don't see it. So in order to have the, because you count the whole thing, so you have to see the whole S right here. So you're not seeing it.
So is it 80 or is it like a 0.5?
No, there's no 0.5, no. It's only whatever you see complete. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But that's acceptable, because if I see half of the thing, I will say it's 6.5. No. In an EKG, we just count the number of complete QRS, and you multiply it by 10. That would be 80. Now, if you do this, see, 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks. How many little blocks?
3.
15, 16, 17. If you divide 1517, you're gonna have like what, 62? That's what we said last time. Oh no, that's gonna be like 70 something.
17. 88.
Okay. And it's approximate because it's more
90.
accurate. Because see, it's getting to 90. But you cannot do that when you count this. Then you have to count the little blocks to get the most accurate. Remember, we do the QRS multiply it by 10, which is the 6th method, when it's irregular. But this is regular. So we used the large blocks or the small blocks. So 88 will be the most accurate. Learn that because you will have questions. What is the heart rate for this patient? So sometimes you count like this, but the result that they give you is not the one that you get. Then do the little blocks. The little blocks is the most accurate.
So sometimes they might be like, it might be 88. or 68?
Right, they say 88. Let's say you have 80, but the answers do not say 80. But says 82, 88, 90.
Okay.
Then you have to count the little blocks. In between, don't count the whole thing. Count from here, the one that is closest here. See, there is one little block right here. 5, 5, 5, 16, 17.
Did it let her use a calculator?
No.
So we gotta do it in our head, the math?
No, you do it.
It's multiple choice, so we're gonna have to like guess the
Yeah, but
nearest
sometimes,
number.
you know, sometimes the questions are really not like they give you like 60, 90, 100.
Okay.
Okay.
So you know that you are right close to the number that you probably getting counting those.
I'm bad at math.
Remember bradycardia? So what is bradycardia?
Slower.
When the heart rate is below. No, not that, because low blood pressure is hypotension.
Yeah.
But when the heart rate, see, 60 to 100, when it's less than 60. So don't mix those things because they're gonna ask you what is tachycardia, what is bradycardia. They ask these terms. Hypotension, hypertension. So right here, slower than normal rhythm. So the only thing that you have to read is the heart rate is less than 60 beats per minute. If it is less than 60, you know that it's bradycardia. You see numbers that are less than 60. Don't include the 60. They say like 55. They have 50. They have 40, 20, 30. Those are bradycardia. So it is a sinus rhythm because you see the PQRS, but the only thing that it is slow. So the heart is not beating fast enough. And it's not good because if it doesn't kind of contract the heart faster enough, you're not going to have enough blood running through your body. Therefore, you're not going to have oxygen. No oxygen, you cannot function. Is that understood? So that's basically what it is. So that is bradycardia. Remember, these are questions for tests. They will ask. Let's go to the next one. See, less than 60. Everything else is the same. It's just the rate. How fast the heart is beating is less than 60. This is how it looks like. What is the heart rate for this patient?
60.
See, if it is 60, doesn't meet the requirements. You said 60 or 50?
60.
But it says that it's less than 60.
So how
And if
is
it's,
it?
well, then no. Then you have to count from here to here. How many blocks? 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 25, 26, 27. Divide 1,500 over 27. Remember that you cannot trust. Huh?
It's 55.
You see? Is it bradycardia? Yes, it's less than 60.
That's confusing, Professor, because it's okay. The heart rate,
It's less than 60.
but when we read there,
Yeah, but that's not the right method to use because this is not irregular. It is when it's irregular that you count that.
when it's regular,
Irregular.
Irregular.
when it's irregular, then we count. That.
You count the number of QRS.
Oh,
But if it is regular, you have to count the big blocks or the small blocks.
okay.
But the most effective one, the little blocks. Because these will not always fall right here in the big line. So I always have one extra or two extra or three little blocks more. So you can't just play with those because you don't know exactly the value of each one. But you know dividing how to do it. So then you count from here. You said, oh, right here, 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26. Oh, divided 26. Then you get your number.
I'm gonna fail that.
What was that?
I'm gonna fail because that's math. I'm not good at math.
When we put in our head that we're gonna fail before we even start or doing something, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Okay, I'm not gonna fail. No, but seriously, if we have to do the math, that's gonna be very hard.
Listen, that's gonna be 1 or 2 questions
Okay.
maximum. How you gonna fail the test?
Okay.
So it's not an excuse that math is gonna make me fail something that is 1 question or 2.
Okay, because if it's more than that, then it's.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. Tachycardia is the other way around. The heart is beating too fast. Now it's going above 100 beats per minute. So what is it that we're gonna see? We're gonna see everything else is normal, but the rate. The heart is gonna beat very fast because it's going beyond 100. Says from 101 to 160. Everything else normal, regular. The PR interval is normal. The QRS interval is normal. Everything is normal. Here it is. It's just that it's faster. Now, if you count here, what is the heart rate for this patient?
110.
You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
120.
And that's math. And that's counting.
And there's no
And
P
that's
weight.
counting.
There's no P weight. There's only QRS and T.
No, this is the sinus. This is the sinus. It's a P. The
So
P
we
is
see
right
the
here.
He's right there.
Okay.
See? P, Q, R, S, T, P, Q, R, S, T, P, Q, R, S. Is it?
Okay, so the
You
only
would
difference.
not, if it's not, you wouldn't see this. You wouldn't see this.
Oh, okay. So
There
the only
is.
difference that it's going fast.
It's going
Okay.
fast. Now, if we do this counting the blocks, because we're gonna have the most accurate heart rate, now we're gonna pick one of those that are this one. 5, 10, 12. Divide 1,512. That's gonna be 120 something.
125.
See? It was 120 over there, right? But that's not the most accurate. But if you do counting the little blocks, you're gonna find the right answer in your test. But if you have 140, 160, 125, oh, do I need to do a math? No, because it's very close to 125, 20. I'm gonna take that one.
Okay.
Okay, let's leave it this way, and tomorrow we